Hello, class. My name is Najah Underwood, and today I'll be talking about my research paper, which was on organizational communication and a successful business. Now, I paired these two together because you cannot have a successful business without having communication. Now, if we go on to the next slide, you'll see I started my research paper off talking about the history or what is communication. Basically, communication is the transmitting of information from one individual to another, generating a shared understanding or feeling. Now, this doesn't have to be an agreement, it's just information being transmitted and shared. Now, if we go on to the next one, I believe that organizational communication is vital. Now, this was also my hypothesis saying that organizational communication makes a successful business effective and efficient. Now, I think it's vital because it helps us communicate, relay messages amongst one another for centuries. It's basically the glue that holds an organization together. I think it's essential because we wouldn't get meetings done, tasks finished, quotas done for the end of the year, projects assigned from different companies, things of that nature. That would none of that would get done if we didn't have communication to relay messages and get the right stuff needed to succeed. Now, in my literary review, I found that organizations um, should use the communication techniques or these elements of communication, which are the downward, upward, diagonal, horizontal, and spiral, which I found in my research, which is basically a boss sending out an email like Christmas bonuses or promotions to get their employees riled up to work more effective and efficiently. Also, I talked about the technology part of it, which is the intranet, and that's basically they have a separate server which is in libraries, hospitals, elementary schools, military bases. It's basically their own set of um, it's basically their own software or hardware where they have all their information stored where the public cannot access it. So they only have access to this in their organization from like a stationary spot of like their office or something. You can't access it outside of the workplace. I also talked about the richness of communication. Basically, the richness is how effective and efficient the communication techniques are. Basically, they said face to face techniques are the best because you can gauge whether a person is being truthful, how you feel about that person. Because within the first 90 seconds of meeting somebody, your instincts will tell you if you trust that person or not. That's just how we are built. Now, in the modern organization, as a manager, they're challenged every day to meet these goals to be effective and efficient in a organization. Now, it's important and clear that they do this because if they don't meet criterias or quotas, then they know their business is not moving to be successful. It's stagnant, and they're going to have to find new ways and techniques to help this move along quickly. So communication is very vital between managers and employees or higher ups and the people below them. Okay, the results that I got from this, if you go down to slide number 6, I believe, the teams that showed more functional interactions, such as problem solving interactions and action planning, were significantly satisfied with their meetings. Basically, better meetings associated with higher team productivity, sorry. Basically, that means they were getting more done, which means they were helping out their organization, putting out more products or elements to help them potentially do better in a competition aspect. Now, for further research, I believe that I should have picked a well-known organization to do a little bit more information on data collecting as to the benefits of how they communicated, um, like Disney World, because they first failed at first, and then they came back and was really successful. Now I want to know if that was due to like technology or communication or a mixture of both, and how it affected them positively afterwards. And maybe some statistics from the companies like Disney World about how the unlimited exposure to the internet helped them or benefited them in that way. In conclusion, basically, communication is vital. You need it to be successful in the workplace, in an organization. If you want to be successful, you need communication. You need to get stuff done. You need partners to help you along the way. So it's vital that you learn how to communicate. And the techniques that were shown throughout my research paper were stated in my conclusion, and how basically the enhancement of society is basically through communication and will always be through communication. When we lose that, we lose the hope of ever potentially being better and becoming more innovative in the world. Now, my name is Najah Underwood again, and I want to thank y'all for looking at my presentation.